Alright, so let's get started. We load up our start project file and you can see we have this PML pipe sound loaded up, we have this reverb setting loaded up, and we have this tiny little doubler rack loaded up so you can later easily use it. But we are starting with the basics here. We are working inside of the arrangement view, not in the session view here, but in the arrangement view, and we're going to lay out our track in here. And we are starting with sidechain and kick for now. And let's go to our courses folder, course samples down here, and load up the first sample called SC kick, and actually drag it onto one of those first MIDI channels here. So I'm taking SC kick and I'm dragging it in here, and it automatically loads up inside of a simpler device. And now we can take those markers and zoom in a little bit. Let's take maybe 4 bars for now, and set the BPM to 122, and select this area here on your MIDI track, right click and insert MIDI clip. Right click, rename sidechain. Okay, double click and go into this piano roll editor down here, right click, 16th notes grid, and we use C3, 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 C3 for our sidechain. Let's quickly play that. So it's a 4 to the floor sidechain. Okay, so we are going to use that one later to trigger sidechain compressors and turn it off for now. Okay, let's bring this down here like this and scroll like this so we have more space in here. And now let's load up our kick sample. Go up to DPV kick, this one, and actually load it up on an audio track. So we could create a new audio track, or we load an audio sample into the gray area where there are no tracks, and it loads up as audio. So now we need to check. It doesn't have the correct length. We have a tiny little gap here. So let's select everything, right click, consolidate, and down here in the sample control area, loop it. So now we can drag it longer and have a looped kick. And actually rename this to hashtag to keep the number kick. Okay, maybe it's a little bit of weird kick sound, but we're really going to tweak that one and it's going to sound pretty cool in the end. Let's go to audio effects and EQ8. Load it onto this kick audio track. Actually can make our kick blue, dark blue. Now be sure to listen on sub-speakers or on headphones or on good monitors to be able to hear those lower frequencies. I'm opening up the EQ and I'm dragging the low cut up a little bit to somewhere like 50 Hertz. And I'm pulling it up slightly. Maybe to something like 115, 114, 115, something like that down here. Okay, and now that's a low cut, and we have a bell curve here in the second control node, and let's listen to that one. Actually want to loop this sample now, so I'm right clicking loop selection. So we're looping 1 bar, and I want to get rid of a little bit of those frequencies. So I'm dragging it down. It's a little bit boxy in those frequencies always, and like muddy wooden sound. So let's go down to something like -7 harsh values here. We are going to compress later and drag the Q up to 119 or something. And remain roughly around 240 frequency. Okay, and we also take down some upper parts. So I'm activating 2 more nodes here. 5th one can move here already. And the 6th one is going to be used right now, around 10K. This is what I kind of want to get rid of a little bit. If we listen to that, put the headphone on so you can listen to the difference you're making. So I want to take some of those guys out here quite harshly. So I'm taking 6 and 5 and I'm moving 6 to somewhere like 10K and 5 to somewhere like 4K here to cut them out there. But maybe we can bring up the Q on that one here a little bit. Okay, so that's it for the kick for now. Summing up, in this first part we created this sidechain kick. It's deactivated because we are not playing it. We are only going to use it as trigger for many other instrument and bass elements. And also we created our kick that's going to be used as our main rhythmic element in the track. And in the next part we are going to load up quite a bit of drum elements because we have a lot of them playing and adding to the groove of this track. And in order to get really started producing on this track here, we need to throw in a lot of elements. So don't worry if it's going to be a lot of elements in the next step. We just need to get them in here.